Yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy TJ. Welcome back to TJFX Reacts. Today we are looking at Lambo Raul. The guy's an absolute monster at trading gold. You know, if you haven't heard of him already, then I don't even know what you're doing really. Honestly, this guy's an absolute joke. 61,000 subscribers. He's got all the supercars that you want. Let's check out how he made $40,000 trading gold in one day. Let's see what the GOAT does. Here we go, baby. I think it's like a trading breakdown. Just look for it quickly just now. So let's talk about some of the stuff that he talks about as well.
Yo, what's good everybody? Welcome back to another video. So I've been getting a ton of different requests to do breakdowns again because I don't know, like I said, I'm trying to mix it up on the YouTube channel. I don't really want to do just all breakdowns, you know what I mean? So I've been trying to mix up doing vlogs and stuff like that. I haven't done a breakdown in quite some time, so I'm gonna do a breakdown for you guys. I'm gonna break down last night's trade. So anyways, what I'm gonna do is pretty much just grab the camera, show you guys last night's trade, last night's results. So I made about $40,000 profit on gold, which I did get stopped out. My trailing stop loss did get hit. I was up a total of $70,000 in equity, but regardless of the fact, still $40,000 trading day, which is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, making 40 grand in a day is a lot of money. Let me now show you guys
Look at his watch. Some sick joke.
much the profits and everything else. Alright everybody, so as you guys can see, the broker that I'm currently trading on is Athens Markets. If you guys are interested in actually trading on the same broker that I trade on, where I have a big portion of my trading capital, the link will be in the description. But other than that, here's pretty much the profit for the week so far.
So it's just showing that it's a live account, technically. I think it's his own broker though, so like I don't know how that makes sense, how you can have a live account with your own brokerage. I think it is anyway, obviously I'm not too sure. If it's not, then obviously my apologies, but still $40,000.
So here is my gold position where I made $40,000, and these are two trades that I took on GJ. Not huge trades, but those are two trades that I took on GJ, and this is a $30,000 withdrawal that I actually had done for last week, which I did hit my crypto wallet already. But as you guys can see, this is not a screenshot either. My account overall for the last 3 months is up $650,000 in profit.
That's
and then this
disgusting.
is the profit that
Yo, that is actually disgusting. What the fuck?
I made on
I told you this guy's a goat.
the gold position, which I did get stopped out early because I was up a total of $70,000 in floating profit. But that is pretty much the profit that I have for this week so far. So for the week so far, it's like a $55,000 profit for the week, which is absolutely amazing. The markets have been doing very well, but these two trades, for some reason, pretty much all these trades, my trailing stop loss got hit for all of them. Now on to the breakdown portion of this video. When it came to me and my decision making as to why I actually wanted
There we go, this is a trade.
to look to take this short position on gold. One thing that I like to base my trading methodology off of is all based off of supply demand, support and resistance. So gold over the last few weeks has been trending very bearish. You could see that very clear on this 4-hour time frame, where price pretty much forms a lower high, then a lower low, then a lower high, then a lower low, then a lower high. And as you guys can see, this is very clear indication of price trending bearish, when price is forming lower lows and lower highs. And again, this is going to be considered a lower high because this high is lower than the previous high, and then it is a confirmed lower high because this high broke under the previous lower low, making this the valid lower high point. So this is all just basic trending fundamentals when it comes down to reading price action, right? So when it came down to me making this decision on looking at what position I wanted to take on gold, gold was actually trading around this area, around 1800. It pretty much had broken down into this area, and before I even looked at taking a position, I have to identify overall market direction. Looking at the weekly time frame, we had a lot of bearish momentum, just to kind of make things short, simple, sweet, to the point. Daily time frame, price started to continue to make new lows and break under my areas of support. So as you guys can see, 1865 is a major area of resistance that I have marked off here as support, along with 1833. It is a major area of resistance where I had marked off where there is previous support. So these are all areas that price just continue to break under. And for those of you guys looking to mark off your support resistance with a little bit more accuracy, or your supply and demand levels with a little bit more accuracy, you want to look for the biggest
When gold sells, it sells hard.
reactions out of those levels. So notice how
If I'm honest, like all it's done, broke out, pulling back, previous lower highs are down here from when it bullish engulfed up. So this is a big retest down to like 1780 near that area, and then back up 1800 level respected, And then obviously now we're at like what 1830 or something. But I reckon we'll go 1888 by the end of the week.
Price hit this area, it traveled from 1833 literally all the way down into 1600. So I would say it's a pretty big reaction. Along with, look how many times price failed to break above that area. Then we look at 1865. Look at what happened when price rejected 1865, went all the way back down to support at 1764. So these are all telltale signs, if that's how you want to call it, that these are more important areas of supporting resistance, because you can have your minor areas such as this one right here, right, or this one right here, right, but these are your more major areas, and you can mark off your major areas of support and resistance based off the daily time frame. So why we take trades at supporting resistance levels is because these are areas of liquidity. These are areas where you're going to have buying and selling pressure, and these are areas where you're going to find the highest probability setups. So when it came to me making this decision, I saw,
see how it says highest probability. That's all trading is. It's the highest possibility trade.
Price break under support multiple times along with price trending bearish. Again, we're identifying direction. We're identifying that price is making lower lows along with breaking support levels. So when price actually broke under and made new lows at about 1786, at that point in time, I only want to take a trade ever on a support or resistance level. Right? Look how many times price rejected this 1830.
He's basically saying don't trade noise. He's saying use the support and resistance as a range. So don't enter mid-market. Wait for it to pull down here. But then you use your own knowledge of the market, like major levels 1800. Kind of respect there. If it is, then it's going to go bull. This is signed as like a wick out effect. And then if it can't break between the low high here, then we're going to go long again. So it's basically saying like don't trade around these sort of
33 level. So what I waited for was for price to give me a pullback into that 1833 level to then look to go short.
But if you look, because this is what actually happens, because this week's already gone. Previous low high respected here, broke up, broke out of this range here. Pulled back, respected, buys from here, pulling back to previous bullish engulfing from a high. Pulling back to the body, respecting previous low highs, and then it went up all the way to like 1866.
Now some people may be asking why 1833, because now that price has broken under 1833, notice that there was previous support which had now formed as resistance after price kind of broke under this area, right? There is a higher probability that price is going to pull back to test that area, and buyers are going to try pushing price higher from that point, right? You want to think about everything as a tug of war. Overall though, again, we only want to be buying and selling at levels of support and levels of resistance. So where's my nearest level of support? Where's my nearest level of major resistance? It's 1833. So I'm not interested in taking any trade unless price is going to pull back into 1833, give me that rejection to look to go short. Why? Very simple, because I only want to focus on the highest quality trades possible, the highest probability trades possible, right? If you were looking to buy a car, right, would you go into any kind of car market and put your hard-earned money behind the car that you know is most likely going to break down on you? Probably not. And that's the same exact kind of decision making that I follow here. Why would I take a trade and put my hard-earned money behind a trade that may not play out in my favor? So we want to focus on higher quality setups along with higher probability setups, meaning that the trade has a high probability to play out in our favor. So now, when price actually did pull back to 1833, you can see that there is an area of previous market structure here, which is this is our previous 4-hour lower low point, which again, at one point in time, there's buying pressure here. That buying.
If you actually look, this is when it sold hard off and broke below here. So there, technically, it's going to always retest like 1845 area first, because this is a clear breakout of this previous zone here, which would have been formed. So we've seen a breakout, retest, collection of orders, and buys back up to 19.
Pressure was met with selling pressure. Right now, once price actually pulled back, this was my entry method now, just so you guys can kind of make that decision, right? So right once price actually pulled back into 1833, I saw that price actually rejected and closed under. Not a major rejection, but enough for me to want to take the position because price did close under. So I ended up taking the position very aggressively after that 4-hour candlestick actually closed. And it's not always trades like this where I get a crazy entry with zero drawdown. Now, before I entered the trade, I already knew where I wanted to get out if I was right, and I already knew where I wanted to get out if I was wrong. The decision making behind that was my stop loss is going to be up here roughly for around 90 pips, which is quite a lot, right? I want to say it was a little bit less. It was like 80 some pips because I was looking to gain 4 times my risk out of this trade. right? If price were to break above this resistance area and hit my stop loss, I'm most likely wrong anyways, and I want to get out of the trade. You want to place your stop loss in an area that's going to make the trade invalid. And if price were to come all the way up to 1840, then most likely my trade was invalid, and I'm going to lose money I'm going to lose more money if I continue to hold my position. Remember, one thing about trading is that the risk and how much you're going to lose is predetermined, but the reward is always going to be unpredictable. And especially in this example, this is why I want to trade or break down this trade for you guys, because this trade just didn't play out how I expected it to play out. But at the end of the day, still in the green, right? So this entire area is that previous area of support and resistance I was looking to take that sell from. So right once price gave me that rejection, that's
Yo, I thought he was about to say it smashed TP, and everything I just said was complete BS. But it's not, obviously.
when I ended up taking the short position. Very simple entry method, a very aggressive entry method. I knew that price on the next candlestick could have possibly gone up for another retest, but that was the risk I was willing to take because, again, I saw this was a very high probability setup. Now, my take profit for this area was actually going to be 1800. Notice how at one point in time price rejected 1800, price flew up from 1800 to 1850 and then dropped all.
It made sense that he thought it was going to go 1800. But when you see 1, 2, 3 weak rejections, and then this one here, you know it's long. Also, always previous lower high to high respect, and previous high to lower high. Always
all the way down to 1786. But notice how price closed right at 1800. So this is where I decided to actually put my target, because there's a reason price closed at 1800, although I went all the way down to 1786. So that is where my target was. I identified that I had a potential to make 4 times on whatever my stop loss size is, whatever I'm risking, and that's when I actually made a decision to make the entry right when this candlestick actually closed, pretty much a little bit before New York session, a few hours before. Now I knew that I was going to see real volume into New York session, but luckily price was pushed in my favor pretty much right away. Now when it came to this hour time frame and why I decided to actually take that position or trail my stop loss in the hours, pretty much I saw price come all the way down to here. Now I was already up almost 3 times my risk, and I could have closed with a $70,000 profit, but I decided to trail my stop loss because what could have been a $70,000 profit
literally on the body, look. But you can also get entry on the wick.
could have potentially turned into a $100,000 profit. So that was a risk I was willing to take. What I also noticed on why I trailed my stop loss to where I did, which I'll go over in a second, was that there is a level of previous resistance here. Notice how price pumped up or pumped down, came back up, retested, rejected, came back up, retested, rejected, continued to go down. Now that price had broken under that area yet again, and I saw price form kind of this little lower high point under the 50 SMA, price continued to go down, and at that point I decided, okay, well, if price breaks above this area, then it has a probability of continuing to go up, possibly back to my entry, and I'm not willing to give all my profits back to the market, which you have to be able to do that as well. You need to know when to get out and when it's smart for you to trail your stop losses versus for you to continue to hold your position, right? That's all part of the learning curve when it comes down to trading. So this is where I decided to actually trail my stop loss to. Pretty much price went down in my favor, continued right here. This is where price continued to go down in my favor, sorry about that, right? But then price came all the way back up, took me out at my trailing stop loss, and I made a pretty much $40,000 profit. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. Now, for those of you guys interested in
technically, like he's selling on like a bull market because of the 1718 wick out. That's all I'm gonna say. But you know, he still made money, so it's not even a poor trade. It's a good trade. The 40,000 depends on what lot size he's using. You know, he's using 80 pip SL. So like, how much risk is he using per an account to make 40,000? What's the account size? What's the lot size he's using? And he's obviously he can't be using 1% risk, because 80 pip lot size, he probably took about what, 80 pip, 40 pip there. So he wouldn't have made that much money. I don't know what he's
learning from me more. I'm gonna post more like live content here on my YouTube channel, so you guys can go follow my free Telegram, which I do have the link in the bio, along with the broker that I'm actually trading on, where this is pretty much where I have a big chunk of my trading capital.
That watch is so fresh.
Because I trade on multiple different brokerages, but this broker is the main broker, so that link will be down in the description as well. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.
Yo guys, check him out, link in description. He's probably up there as top 2 with the forex goes in the community as it stands at the moment. Make sure to check him out. Good guy, good content. Definitely one to keep an eye on. If you enjoy my content, make sure to like and subscribe. One video every 3 days on this channel. We're keeping up the content grind. I appreciate the support. Peace.